Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we're going to take a look at a unique way to treat addiction with a leading national expert. Her journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team. And the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, we're in February now, which means a lot of people have already gotten through dry January or damp January, and they're back to their old habits again. And having a glass of wine every once in a while is not a bad thing, but if you're having it every single day, multiple times a day, you might have a problem. To talk about that today, Kimberly Schuehler with Sabino Recovery. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Let's talk about COVID, because I think it traumatized so many people, they turned to self-medicating.
Yes, it gave us too much free time. And with that free time, I think a lot of people needed an outlet, and they found that in drugs and alcohol.
And when I watch TV and movies, it seems like we have a culture that really just celebrates this. I mean, you can't see a television show without somebody with a drink in their hand, right?
Very true.
And do you think all of that plays a role in this culture that we've created, which is kind of, if you go to a party and you say, no, I'm okay, I'm not going to have anything, isn't there a little bit of a peer pressure going on?
Absolutely. I think because of what you just mentioned, the amount of, normalization around alcohol and drugs that's out there, I think it does allow us to feel more normal when we are partaking in those things, and it does change the stigma for sure.
Yeah, and Sabino Recovery has a very unique program. We're going to start with your campus out in Tucson, and I want people to see this. It's just beautiful, isn't it?
It's stunning.
Yeah.
It's unlike any other.
And as we're watching this, I want you to just kind of narrate this for us. Not just a beautiful campus, but you have just amazing activities, and you get to the root of what is causing the addiction.
Absolutely. So we are on 140 acres. We back up to a national park. The place is serene. It provides such an amazing experience for healing and recovery. We look through everything. We look at everything, mental health and substance use, through a trauma lens, and that really allows us to get to the bottom of the cause, the trigger, whatever you want to call it, that's leading to these choices.
Yeah, and I know I saw horse therapy and then like rope climbing.
Yes.
And tell us why you do all these things.
Sure. So horses have a very unique way of bringing healing and recovery. They create safe spaces for our residents. So it's an incredible modality to use while we're working through all of that. They hold really safe spaces for our residents. Looking at our ropes course or things like that, it's a fun activity for our residents to do, sort of get them out of their head, challenge them, show them that they can do hard things. We also have other modalities, massage, Reiki, acupuncture, all the things to help the body as they're working through the trauma.
Sure. And you guys just acquired a new campus in Texas. We're going to roll some video, and I want you to describe Cypress Lakes.
Yes, it's a stunning campus. It's right on Cypress Lake. It used to be a hunting lodge, and so that big building that we're looking at is just amazing. Lots of good stuff happening there as well.
Wow. And the process in Cypress Lakes is the same, the getting to the root of the problem?
Yes. The trauma component to both facilities, Sabino and Cypress Lakes Lodge, is going to be the same. We look through everything with a trauma lens.
And once somebody leaves the facility, what kind of tools have you given them to deal with this on an ongoing basis?
Yeah, so we use a lot of trauma models, EMDR, somatic experience, things like that. And we have a whole team in place that will wrap around the resident and give them all the providers that they need, so that they have all the tools and access to the people that they need help.
I was on your YouTube channel and you have all these amazing testimonials. Let's go ahead and roll one.
Hi, I'm Michaela. I'm a former resident of Sabino Recovery. So coming to Sabino, I definitely knew that I needed help, and I did a lot of research before coming here for months before I made the decision on Sabino. And I was a little bit nervous, but I was pretty confident that this facility was going to be able to help me with the trauma that I was struggling with. When I got to Sabino, it was like everything that I was hoping for and so much more that I would have never been able to anticipate. And I learned so much about myself and what I wanted for myself, which I never could have anticipated coming here. It was a beautiful experience of like learning and growing, and I'm so thankful for that opportunity. Sabino has saved my life. If I didn't come to Sabino, I wouldn't be here today. I got to get myself back. There's no words for it. I'm just so happy and so thankful.
I've had a chance to meet a couple of members of your team, true pros. Talk about the culture at Sabino.
Yeah, so from a clinical perspective, we hire master's level therapists to make sure that our residents are getting the very best care. We have a long list of practitioners who are experts in the modalities that we use. So from EMDR and somatic experience, those, models helping process the trauma, to really all the practitioners helping support the nervous system as the resident is healing. They are experts in their field, so breath work and Reiki, like I spoke about earlier, massage, all of those things. We have our sleep medicine doctor, Dr. Parham, who comes from Johns Hopkins. We really look at getting the best of the best to come on board to make sure that the resident, while they're with us, gets the best care that they can.
Do you find, is addiction a physical problem, an emotional problem, all of the above?
All of the above. I think it hits all the targets.
Yeah. So when maybe a mom or dad says to son, hey, you just don't have willpower, does it cross over where it's not really a choice for some people?
Absolutely. So there is a brain component. Chemicals in our brain can be imbalanced. And so it can certainly be something that is much greater than just willpower.
Sure. And I think sometimes it's the story that you tell yourselves. I know a lot of friends who say, well, I'm an introvert, and so I need a couple of beers in order to go into that party, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And is part of your training to get them to tell themselves a different story?
Absolutely. So we want to rewire the brain. We want to rewire the way that they think, not only about themselves, but about their surroundings. So that's when that trauma piece can come in. We look at all of it to make sure that we're rerouting everything the best way we can.
Sure. And if somebody's watching this right now and either they are having a problem or they think they have a loved one who has a problem, what is the next step? They make a phone call? What happens?
Absolutely. So please reach out if you or anybody that you know is struggling. SabinoRecovery.com is going to take you right to our website. You can read about what we do, and it will give you the number for our admissions department. Our intake team is phenomenal, and they'll be able to help with all the next steps.
Outstanding. Thanks for coming on the show. We're going to end with that website one more time, which is SabinoRecovery.com. The great Kimberly Schuehler. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And that's it for now. We'll see you next time.